How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Sandy here. So, yes, this is going to be yet another very unique video in which I deal with somebody who I might have even had even the slightest amount of respect for, immediately just getting exposed for just being probably one of the worst people ever, and that person is, of course, none other than Lio Convoy. What I find extremely funny about me even making this video is that I feel like I'm probably the only one making a video about Lio Convoy who hasn't really had any kind of, long grudges towards the guy, or really any level of beef towards them whatsoever. I literally do not care. The only thing that I could reasonably pin up against them is that they didn't bother to do enough research to realize that I wasn't even part of the Fox Mafia anymore, and that's really about it. But aside from that, I really couldn't care less. But apparently, these idiots have decided that it would be a great idea to actually just be the worst fucking people on planet Earth behind the scenes. And it's not just Lio Convoy, but it's also Hopeless Peaches as well, because of fucking course it is. And trust me, I'm not just going to be talking about them, I'm going to be talking about a few of their detractors that apparently think that they're suddenly absolved of all crimes just because the fact that the people who have called them out in the past ended up turning out to be scummy people as well. Trust me, I'm going to be going after them as well, but of course I'm going to be starting off with Lio Convoy and Hopeless Peaches because, well, obviously that's who's in the title of the fucking video. So without any further ado, let's just get started here. So for those of you lucky enough to not even know who either of these people are, and trust me, I don't blame you, I'm just going to let you know anyways. Hopeless Peaches is an art commentary channel that is pretty self-explanatory, and Lio Convoy is a toy reviewer slash predator hunter. Yeah, it's like two different sides of two different fucking coins right there, but whatever, I guess. And apparently, these two have been pretty instrumental in exposing a number of different scummy individuals. People such as Camila Cuevas, people such as, well, the Fox Mafia, people such as Creepshow Art, I believe, at least in Hopeless Peach's case, maybe. But aside from that, they really are known for just exposing a whole ton of different people for different reasons. Now, of course, as to a lot of their evidence, or as to any of their claims actually being, 100% completely credible, that's completely up in the air. After all, if you've seen my initial Fox Mafia video, you'd know that considering the fact that a lot of my information came from Lio's videos, well, a lot of that shit ended up turning out to be completely fucking wrong, funnily enough, but whatever, what am I gonna do? But once you know it, it ended up coming out that Peaches was not exactly the most savory individual, and the evidence that was shown off was evidence that apparently both Lio and Peaches had been sitting on for the better part of about 3 to 4 years, and apparently Peaches had either an entire server or part of an old server in which there was a lot of sexual topics being talked about freely, with minors able to go in and out of it, with a lot of the conversation even being directed towards those minors. And this is something that Peaches herself has even fucking admitted to within her flaccid Twitter apology, where she just chalks it all up to ooh-woo memory issues, which is by far one of the worst offenses I think I've ever heard of. So bad, in fact, that Lio and Peaches have notoriously gone after individuals who have used similar defenses, which is unbelievable that they are willing to just accept that as a coherent defense all of a sudden when it involves them, but when it involves other people, then it's suddenly a problem. It just doesn't make any sense. Make it make sense, you two fucking morons. Trust me, I don't even know if Peaches has already taken down the Twitter apology due to just how poorly it was even received, so of course I'm likely just gonna have it up on the, video right here because, I saved screenshots, so there you go. And of course, Peaches herself has also recently come out with a document against Lio Convoy. Now, what exactly is alleged against Lio Convoy? Well, emotional and verbal abuse being hurled towards a number of his former friends, and apparently a lot of favoritism in terms of mainly favoring Peaches over literally any of his other friends, which is just extra scummy on top of that. Now, of course, the two main individuals who came out with these allegations towards Lio ended up, for some reason, going towards Kumo with this information, who, I mean, go off, I guess, but that wouldn't have been my first choice, but whatever. I'll get into him later on in this video, don't worry about it. But of course, they ended up coming out with their own documents about not only Peaches, but also Lio Convoy, so don't worry, a lot of that shit is gonna be in the description below for you guys to take a look at for yourselves. Now, here's the thing when it comes to Lio Convoy. Lio Convoy has decided to start off his response by deciding to go after Crystal Flame, one of the first individuals to actually go after Hopeless Peaches with this information. Now, of course, mind you, while pointing out some of the inconsistencies within the doc is of course important, the video itself starts off with a pity party with Peaches crying in a call.
I wasn't hiding it or anything.
Well, no, of course not.
Because when Akuma started asking me about, like, MCK stuff, I didn't even remember what that even meant. For ages. And then, like, when I did finally remember, I only remembered a couple people who were in there.
Something that, once again, is something that would have actually infuriated both Lio and Peaches to the point of them screaming at the other person and causing them to feel even worse. Now, I'm not entirely saying that that is exactly like a bad thing or anything like that, considering that a number of these kinds of individuals that they ended up, you know, bringing to tears were in fact scummy individuals themselves. It's just kind of funny that Lio apparently decided to start off the video with a big pity party on top of that too, while also pointing out a bunch of really inconsequential things about Crystal Flame just throughout the entire video. The video itself was extremely flaccid, and some people weren't really buying it, to put it very simply, and rightfully so. And overall, it's just one of Lio's big stinkers on this channel, if you put it at the end of the day, if I were to put it into, you know, moist critical terms here. And overall, the entire situation just genuinely sucks when it comes to both Lio and Peaches. When it comes to Lio, individuals were quite literally abused and harmed at this entire situation, and I genuinely hope only for the best for those individuals. For Peaches, well, the fact that she even just decided to chalk everything up to memory issues is just scummy as fuck, and hopefully the people that were involved in that chat have either managed to move on and don't really even remember too much of it, or if they were affected by it, then hopefully they're like getting some sort of like level of help, or they're like talking to other people that aren't nearly as shitty as Peaches. So, there you go. But now, let's get on to the detractors here, because trust me, the detractors aren't too much better. Well, most of them aren't. Let's just get started here. So I might as well just start. For some reason, Zai and Omnia think that it's a good idea to start, you know, running victory laps when it's already pretty evident as to the things that they have done. Now, I don't know too much to the extent of what Omnia has done. All I know is that she was, you know, pretty scummy and has lied about a lot of things, at least from my knowledge. But Zai has a lot more information behind him as just being an overly abusive piece of actual human filth and waste of oxygen at the end of the day. To put it extremely simply, he just shouldn't even be given the time of day at the end of the day, and the fact that he's parading everything around as if he's done nothing wrong is just funny in my opinion. And the only reason why a lot of these people are deciding to run around and claim, you know, that they have won or that they are completely innocent now is all because of one simple thing, and that is the fact that both Peaches and Lio have called them out in the past and have made them look like complete fucking tools. Now, of course, just because the person who has called you out ends up turning out to just be no better than you doesn't exactly absolve you of all your crimes. You're still a piece of shit, and it doesn't change anything. Now, of course, there are in fact a number of other people who've been called out by Lio that I've heard about that have been also running victory laps, but at least from my knowledge, at least some of them are at least attempting to try and shape themselves up for once, instead of just deciding to continue down a path of being complete fucking wastes of space. So, I can at least give them credit where credit is due. Obviously, with some of them, some of that remains to be seen, but what are you gonna do? But anyways, that's gonna do it for today's video. What have we learned today? Well, trust nobody, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to instill fucking paranoia. Just be careful of who you trust, I guess. I don't know. That's the moral of today's story. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like. That's very well appreciated. Leave a comment down below what you thought about the video, what you want me to talk about next, and also subscribe to the channel if you're new and you want to see more content such as this. Also, go ahead and follow me on Twitter, and join the Discord server down below if you feel like doing so. And yeah, anyways guys, this has been Sandy, and have yourselves a nice day.